growth happens when you get outside of your comfort zone, right? Once you start to gain your confidence, that's gonna enable you to take on the world.
Lissele, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to have you here to sit down and kind of share your experience as a founder. Can you just go ahead and get started by telling us a little bit about you and kind of what inspired you to start your business?
So my name is Lissele Pratt. I am the co-founder of Capitalixe. We are a fintech consulting firm specialized in helping medium and high risk verticals to obtain payments and banking solutions. I've been running my business now for 5 years. I come from a traditionally male-dominated industry where when I first started in the industry, I was literally the only woman out of 50 men working on the trading floor, which was quite tough for me. I think it was at 22 that I decided to quit my job and go traveling the world. I had just got promoted, had just gotten a raise, and I was like, this isn't really fulfilling me. And I had a really strong desire within to go travel. So I did it, I just quit. When I was in Bali and Thailand, I saw a lot of people working on their laptops and just, they looked super happy. And I was like, oh, why can't I be doing this as well? And I was just thinking all this time that I just really wanted to start my own business. I spotted a gap in the market to serve the underserviced industries. And then a few months later, that's when my business Capitalixe was born. Running a business is like a roller coaster. There's a lot of ups and downs, and it doesn't get easier, you just get better.
Can you share a time that was a bit of a struggle for you, or maybe a time where you feel like your gender kind of impaired your equality within the workspace, or just an experience that you felt particularly biased against for being a woman?
I think this was about 5 years ago on International Women's Day. I had people around me, because it was just men, they didn't understand why I was doing it. So I did a post, and then one of them looked at me and said, don't you think you women have done enough already? He then said and made a joke that women should be in the kitchen and ironing clothes, and that really singled me out. I felt so like I didn't belong there at all that it made me really upset. Because we're trying to get ahead as a gender, you know, and we also need the support of men to show that, and also help create a rope ladder for us as well, because if they're going to be behaving that way, then it's not really going to help us get to where we want to go, and also help create a better world for everyone too. When I was 24, I got on the Forbes 30 under 30 finance list, and for someone like me, an underrepresented woman from also in a minority background, and also being the youngest person on that finance list, was a testament to myself and to my company and to the industry that I am doing it. I've proved my results.
So a lot of women that start businesses, it is so common to experience imposter syndrome. And, you know, even when you're getting these validating things like a Forbes 30 under 30 list recognition, you still have to remind yourself that, like, you can be here, you deserve to be here. Have you dealt with imposter syndrome? And if so, how did you kind of work through that?
I suffer imposter syndrome pretty much all the time still. I feel like a lot of successful people still suffer with imposter syndrome. I remember reading something from Stephen Bartlett, and he said, if you're not suffering from imposter syndrome, then you're not putting yourself out there to grow. I think it's so important to keep reminding yourself that you do belong, and you are doing well, and you are doing a great job, and you're doing amazing things. Whenever I hit a milestone, I'm like, okay, what's the next milestone? I'm always aiming to go higher.
The financial landscape is constantly changing, and obviously being an entrepreneur, you kind of have to have your finger in all of these different pies. How do you stay on top of everything? How do you balance it? How do you stay afloat?
When I first started my business, I didn't know any female entrepreneurs out there. So I actually joined a women in business club in the city, and it was full of female entrepreneurs, and they were always passing down their knowledge, always encouraging me, and they were always there to support me and through messaging or email, whatever, and having one-to-ones. And yeah, they were my mentors actually, now that I look back. There was also this woman that when I was working on the trading floor, that she came in as our head of sales, and seeing her in that position really inspired me as well. Seeing a woman in a leadership role made me feel that I did belong there, because before I didn't. In terms of me mentoring, I do it all the time. For anyone that wants mentoring, they come to me. A lot of them come from me through LinkedIn, through other sources. And for me, true success is when you're able to help others succeed as well.
you were quite young when you started your business, and you say that you love traveling, and obviously starting a business is so time consuming. How do you kind of, balance your personal life and your work life? Do you have a work-life balance? What are some tips you can give to women who kind of struggle to balance that?
I go through phases of having no work-life balance to then having a work-life balance. This is something that I'm working on a lot this year. And because I'm also traveling all the time, my routine goes out the window. So obviously I was in Thailand, in Portugal, and in Cyprus, and now I'm here. Whenever I'm doing short-term traveling, it really messes up my routine. But when I stay longer term, so I'm doing 2 months in Barcelona in the summer, I'll have a routine there. I can start working on my work-life balance again, start developing a nice mental health routine. Taking time for yourself whenever you can to do things that are good for your mental health. Journaling, walking, reading, taking a bath, anything to get yourself away from the laptop and away from social media. Or maybe just even laying down for a nap, that does wonders. But I was diagnosed with severe ADHD at the end of last year, which I can see through my business that it just makes total sense now. And actually a lot of my friends said that it's pretty obvious and that I should get it checked out. I've had a lot of people tell me over the years. But it's allowed me to become more creative and think outside the box. And I feel like this is also, having this ADHD has allowed me to differentiate myself against the competitors in the industry and everyone else, and allowed us to get our foot ahead. And my executive assistant, she keeps on track. She knows that I have ADHD, and I also get her to read like manuals on managing a business owner with ADHD. So she has a good understanding of it. If you have a good team around you, then the sky's the limit. Yeah. And I always say teamwork makes the dream work. And for me, culture, collaboration, my team's happiness is what's going to make a successful and happy company as well. So I really try and make a happy team so they stay in the company and help us grow. And if they're happy, then they're going to want to help us grow as well.
Is there one piece of advice you would give to a woman out there looking to start her own business?
Mentally prepare yourself, and just know that you're just as deserving and capable of anyone else of succeeding. And another thing is, see this as an opportunity to grow and learn, because I've had a few businesses before that have failed, but I always say that you don't fail, you fail forward, because every skill that you've developed there, you're going to be implementing, you're learning from, and it's going to propel you towards success in your future venture.
Yeah, well, that was amazing. Again, thank you so much for your time, for sitting down with us today. I think a lot of people are going to find you super inspiring.